Hello friends. Now, after we understand basics of HTML, we want to get acquainted with another important language, CSS. Cascade Style Sheets is the abbreviation, but nowadays it doesn't matter. No one remembers it. It is the approach which allows us to apply various colors, sizes, fonts, etc. to various HTML elements independently of the text, not modifying the text itself. Let us look at it in a small example. Here is the small web page intended to hold the list of chess champions. I put here just 8, though there are more of them nowadays, of course, almost 20, I believe. Here they follow after the header in H1 tags. They follow in separate paragraphs, every having the name in the bold and then the line break. This works. Let us see. Here's the page. Everything is good, but now let us assume we want some colors, etc. Let's start with, for example, with the title. Suppose we want it in purple. Yeah. Historically, HTML allowed dedicated tag for this named font. We put it opening before the text and then closing after the text, and add the color as attribute of the HTML tag. Color purple. Now it's purple, okay, but well, it's cool, but it's not very convenient. Let me explain. Suppose we now want to paint names of United States champions, for example, Steinitz, Lasker, and later here be Fischer, for example. We want to make them blue, for example. We can add the tag here and type blue, and here will be closing tag, etc., etc. It works also, but now we shall copy it, of course, for Lasker, etc. But now suppose that we are unhappy with this blue tint and we want to make it lighter or darker, or make it green, for example, etc. This means that we shall update this, shall edit this text later to put something different than blue into every attribute where we have used it, right? And at least, for example, there would be at least 3 American chess champions, and if we have, for example, red for Russian champions, there would be about 5 more. We will mark them with red, and for example then decide to change it to brown, etc., and it will mean much work. So this approach, when we apply styles by putting something in the text, isn't very convenient, and people invent a different way. I'm going to show it. I will undo these fonts now and see. We put the tag style, though style description may also be stored in separate file and just reference style open and closing text. And now we describe the styles for various elements in CSS language. It looks slightly different. It consists of the selector, which means to what tag or something apply the style. For example, I want the style be applied to tag h1, to headers, and then description of the style itself in the curly braces. For example, I want h1 be green in color. I put it color and value green. Let us see. This works. The title is green. There are various styles, for example, text align, which means I want it centered. You see, you remember we can use the center tag, but it is obsolete because it requires us also to modify the text, and applying the style we need not modify anything. We can apply border, for example, border 1 pixel wide, solid gray, for example. Wonderful. We can add some background color, for example, yellow. It also works. We can change the font style. For example, we wanted not these times like with the serifs, but more straight, like Arial or Sans. Font family Sans. Okay, it works. We can apply styles to different elements. For example, we can apply the style to the whole body tag. Let us use it to apply, for example, background of slightly darker color than default white. Body tag should have style background, say let it be in hexadecimal format, not in text. D for red, D for green, and F for blue. It would be slightly bluish, but not very dark. Yeah. So how it works? Now let us apply this to names of people. How do we do this? We mark the paragraphs with the classes. Class is the attribute which doesn't affect how the item looks, but can just mark some logic, etc. We, for example, put class US for Steinitz and for Lasker. We can put several classes in the space, via space, for example, Deutsch for Lasker, and let us put, for example, Ru for Alekhin, for Botvinnik, for Smyslov, for Tal. Now we just put we want selector to be a paragraph with a certain class, and it's written via dot. Class US, and we want color blue for them. You see, the style is applied to the whole paragraph, of course, because we specified that we want the whole paragraph, but we want really only the name fragment, which is in B bold section, right? So we can make large selector. It looks like this, which reads like find paragraph with the class US, and find under this paragraph, inside it, find the bold parts and color only them. You see, it works, and it works fine, and we can do the same for Russian. Really, we need not put paragraph here. It could be just class preceded by dot still, then every element, not depending on which tag, if only it has such class, would be painted. Okay, it works, and this is much easier, because if we want now make Russian, for example, lighter, we just change color here, like F88, how it looks, to pink, yes, but we can add, for example, some background to them. It's really horrible, but you see it works, yes. Now just some more about classes. Sometimes we want to apply them to part of the text without any specific tag. There is a tag called span. For example, let us add the year when the person become champion, like this, and we mark it with the tag span, yeah, and add some class here, for example, class year. We shall use it for last year also, and stop with it because I don't remember the years of further champions. Let us see how it looks. And suppose we want different font for years. Just put it so class year should be with the font family Courier. Great, and that's very convenient again. Now I think that's all for CSS introduction. We shall meet it many times later. For example, because they are widely used by applying JavaScript to styles, by making styles change all the time, and this creates various visual effects. Thank you very much. Bye.